Yes, it is I, your humble host, Bill Hatch III, coming to you live from the palatial home studios of Bald Spot Productions here in the beautiful city of Santa Ana, California. Joining me as per usual in studio is my friend, my brother in Christ, the disembodied voice of Gritty.
Everybody, I love you all. Waka, waka, waka.
And joining us from a more than acceptable safe social distance are my guests this evening. One from Michigan, and I don't know where the other one is right now, but
New
Joseph
Jersey.
M. Leonard of New Jersey. Joseph M. Leonard, J. Leonard Detroit. He is coming from Michigan. And Inf Grizzy, I'm not sure how to say that.
Inf
Is it
Grizzy.
INF?
Inf Grizzy.
Okay. Oh, your audio is really bad right now. Okay,
Mine?
there's a lot of static on the line. Yeah, Grizzy, you're static. You're got a lot of static there for a second.
You hear me now?
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Perfect. All right, let me move up a little bit. All right, there we go.
So how do you say your name?
Inf Grizzy.
Joseph, you were right.
I won the bet. Yay!
That's what's up, man.
You get to come back for free. Take a third bite of the apple. I don't know why you can't get enough of me. No, because in all the everything typed I've seen, the inf is all capitalized. So I was thinking it stood for something.
You know, Inf stand for infamous, Grizzy stand for grind. It's just like a street term, you know what I mean?
Okay, cool.
Yes.
It's good to have meaning.
It's different.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. Cool. Joseph, you're still promoting terror strikes, right?
Yep. Terror strikes coming soon to a city near you, though. I am looking at I'm getting an echo. Let me turn down my speakers here. See if that clears it. Yeah. Also trying to work on another project potentially to help other authors, other aspiring authors to get their own self-published book. But I've got a lot outlaid in promotional costs for this book that I'm waiting on ROI. So that's project is through Indiegogo. And I'm hoping folks will want to, if you're an avid reader or you're an aspiring writer, I like to say some of the best stories ever written have come from unknown people. You know, you can help create the next Stephen King or Clancy or James Patterson. Go to IGG, that's short for Indiegogo, igg.me/write-and-publish. So igg.me/at/write and publish, and there's a dash before the and after the and in that end of the URL. Because I'd like to help others, achieve the dream that I did. Because I've been writing my whole life, and I want them to be able to become published too.
I'd be happy to put it in the written part of the description for the show. So if you can message that to me, so because that's a lot.
That's awesome. That's definitely awesome.
That's cool. And what
I'll put it in chat right now.
Okay, cool. And what about you, Inf? What's the big thing going on right now?
Well, big thing is I could say accomplish a lot of things in a matter of a year. So basically, like me and my manager, I'm signed to High Rolling Entertainment, by the way, and my name is Inf Grizzy. Everybody that's watching. I'm from New Jersey, Jersey Shore, New Jersey. I'm pretty sure everybody heard. Y'all seen the show Jersey Shore?
Yeah,
that's fake. That's all fake. Don't believe that. There's not no party city here like that. But now, when me and my manager got together, we sat down on some serious note, and we was like, yo, the time is now. We might as well just start working on the album and get it going right now. So I stayed at my buddy's house for a little bit, and he had a studio there. So I've been working on, different songs here and there and stuff like that. And then I was piecing them together. And then basically I'm like, oh snap, the album is almost done. And I'm recording it myself because I never knew how to work Pro Tools or nothing like that. So I started working on it and whatever, recording my verses and all that. And then send it off to the master engineer in a matter of time. I would say about 6.5 months with it, if that. The album was basically complete. Shout out to all the artists that had involvement in the album. Shout out to the team. Shout out to everybody that's been grinding and supporting me. You know what I mean? So it's a blessing that I made it this far, and I'm happy and I'm thankful.
I hear him okay.
I could hear him okay. I could hear you okay. You're both okay, but maybe it was me. I don't know. I just hit my.
Oh no, I heard the static too.
Okay.
It happens.
Yeah, I'm not hearing static because I turned my speakers way down because I was hearing an echo, which I don't know if my end or your end there. But yeah, Grizzy, I checked out a couple of your tunes today. My Life, very good. Like that a lot. Love is Blind, which kind of give me a little bit of a, not quite. It's about a diss, right? Being disrespected. So
yes.
It kind of, in a way, reminded me of the CeeLo Green tune, Bleep You. You know that one?
Yeah.
Which is also about being disrespected, and then blah, blah, blah. I love that because in the 70s and 80s, I wrote too, but back then you couldn't as easily digitize and monetize like you can today. So I moved on more so along the lines of books. But
yes.
So I really appreciate when someone takes something simple, a phrase we've taken for granted our whole life, like blah, blah, blah. That was great because I was.
It's crazy about that song. Like, I don't know. I guess when I was like at a store or something, somebody just kept nagging, talking to me, and I'm like, oh man, blah blah blah. And then a couple girls were saying it too, like blah blah blah, blah, like, and I'm like, yo, maybe I could turn that to a song or something. You know what I mean? So I went to my man in Long Branch, New Jersey. And I was like, yo, can you make this beat right quick? Let's create this right now from scratch. And then that's what we did. And we was like, blah, blah, blah. And then I got the girl in the studio to say, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, oh, snap, we can make this work. Boom. Wrote it real quick, and then that's it. And then that was the first single that I dropped.
Yeah, simple stuff like that catches because, again, people are used to the blah, blah, blah phrase.
Yeah, because everybody says that.
You put it into a song, though. It's like I was on Savaged Unfiltered, another podcast just the other day, and we were talking about music in general. And I was saying about, like some artists, I'm not really fond of Lady Gag Me, as I call her. But, the song Poker Face. Poker Face is brilliant. Because how many times do people use that term? And, all those kinds of songs that somebody thinks of that are clever like that. And like Taylor Swift, I'm not fond of the Swiftie cult, but Shake It Off. Shake It Off is very...
that was catchy. That was catchy.
How many times have people use that term? Oh, get over it. Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Brilliant. And again, kind of a diss song, right? Where she's talking about people dissing her over her love life. So
exactly.
I love clever ones like that. So definitely, if anybody wants to see one song, the first song to see from you, probably it's blah, blah, blah. They should go to YouTube.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that, man.
Cool.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, so where to go? Let's see, Inf, where do you normally get your inspiration from? Does it all come from life, or does some of it come from imagination?
So basically, like, all my inspiration I drive around. I play music. I listen to a lot of DMX. I don't know what's going on with the static. Y'all hear the static, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I
You
hear
know, right?
Bill I'm
Right.
hearing Bill like he's in a train tunnel echoing.
Right, yeah, it sounds like it. But
Maybe, Rudy, can you
yeah,
turn
like I
the,
said, I was in
down? Let's see if
I was
that
in my
helps.
vehicle. I'm in my vehicle driving around. I listen to a lot of DMX. That's where I basically get my inspiration from. You know what I mean? Him, Fabulous, my favorite artist. He my favorite artist right there. Jadakiss. I listen to them, and then I see like how they put their delivery and all that stuff together, and I'm like, oh snap, wow. So like, I think of my own stuff. Like if I look at a traffic light, am I gonna make a song called Yellow Light? Or something, you know what I mean? Like yellow, like maybe anything could be possible to do something like that. Or you could look at a train going by, choo, choo, you know what I mean? Like you can make a song out of that. There's a lot of things you can make a song out of. You can make a song out of a watch, chain, teeth. It's just the way how you present it.
Well,
you know
here,
what I mean?
I got an idea for you, Grizzy. You need to create the Bill Hatch Not Quite After Midnight theme song.
I got you. I got you.
Right, Bill?
Okay.
You need an opening theme song.
I do not have an opening theme song. No, I do not.
No, you don't?
I don't. No. I've had a couple of offers, but haven't been able to take anybody up on it yet.
So
That one's already taken, Rudy.
Yeah, don't do too many bars of that or we'll have to pay royalty.
mm-hmm.
Remember, the
You
show's
don't want to
supposed
do
to
that.
be free.
Oh.
So yeah, that's basically what I got.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. I love coming up with ideas. Like when you drive around, you just got a clear mind because you like focusing on the road and you just looking straight, and then you just not paying attention to nobody else. Even though you got to pay attention with like cars in your way and all that, but when you turn your music on, you just in your zone. You be like, oh snap! Then you start thinking a lot. That's where I get my inspiration from, all that too. So
yep.
Little things.
Yeah, here's another idea. I don't know what kind of car you drive or brand, but you should come up with a song about your car so you can hopefully then cash in on that advertisement money.
I know, right? A Nissan Altima.
Sponsor my music.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I had a Nissan Sentra SE at one time, so I've only owned one Sentra, but it was a very, very durable vehicle and great. And, people are usually get down on the foreign label cars, but most of those are still built right here in the United States these days.
Yeah, they are.
It's like a Mitsubishi Eclipse me and my ex-wife used to have.
That was some years ago.
Fantastic vehicle. Loved it.
That's a small one, right?
Pardon?
That's a two-door one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, don't
not
talk
the
to me too much about cars right now. Mine's sitting in the shop running up a bill.
Yeah.
Thank God, I'm getting new tires on mine tomorrow morning. They down to the nitty gritty, you know what I mean? Like just like that, the spoke's about to pop out, so I got to change that ASAP. So I scheduled an appointment.
I had my tires rotated front to back the other day because they weren't wearing evenly, and I'm trying to stretch it out a little longer. So I had the backs put on the front that had much more tread. Because right now I got a 2009 Pontiac Vibe. It's front wheel drive.
Front wheel drive, mine too.
Yeah, the fronts wear a lot quicker.
Yeah.
I had to have the battery replaced a couple months ago. All of a sudden, out of the blue, it's not starting. Oh, great! Money I don't have, don't want to be spending.
Exactly. Especially with the alignment off, it throws it off bad. It ruins your tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to, years ago, I used to work on cars. That was my first attempt at a career.
Oh yeah.
Was wrenching on cars. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I got in an industrial fire, and that was the end of that. So yeah, got permanent nerve damage to both my hands, and so I can't work on a car all day anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to, I took auto shop in high school. So I could
Nice.
work on the old cars,
Yeah.
carburetors
Yeah.
and that. But
Oh yeah.
nowadays,
Classic. Yeah.
yeah, I'm a former IT guy. I mean, most of it's all run by computer chip now. I don't want to
Right.
mess with them.
Yeah. You don't want to touch that.
Not as much fun to wrench on anymore.
No.
You
See, Hondas. I think Hondas are the easiest cars to work on because everything is right there.
yeah, yeah,
It's true.
but they
You
still
got
got
your
so much in the way
alternator.
of, they've got so much computer stuff in them now that you really have to
Yeah.
know what you're talking about to
Yeah.
work on it anymore.
Exactly.
Without doing damage. And then you got the hybrids and the electrics and the orange
Oh,
cables.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I sold Nissans for a while, and when the hybrid Accord came out, we had to do special training to be allowed to sell them because they
Right.
had the high tension cables in the under the hood, and they're like, no, we can't have salespeople poking around at them if they don't know what they're talking about. And
Wow.
so we had to take classes to sell them. And,
Okay.
which was kind of cool because for a while I was the only guy who at the shop who could sell them. And,
Smart. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that kind of upped your value for the dealership there for a while.
Yeah, for a little while. But until I got upset with the ownership and quit.
Ain't the prices going down now
Hope so.
on vehicles?
Yeah, everything had gone up because of the chip shortage, and then inflation hit it, and I know my little Spark had gotten up all the way to like 16 grand and on the coupon book,
Right.
and if it hadn't been for the fact that I would have had to have spent that money, turned right back around and spent that money on another car, I might have taken advantage of that. But
Right.
yeah, they should be coming down a little bit since inflation's kind of evening out.
I hope so.
Yeah, the big thing is we're still dealing with that chip shortage though. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, if gas had stayed higher, then the big cars would have definitely gone down in price because we saw that happen when the last time we had a big jump, a big sudden jump. Gas.
Gas going down now here.
Yeah, gas has gone down here too. It's back under $5 a gallon.
Yeah, here in the Detroit area, it's $4 a gallon, but that is still way up from where it was 2 years ago. Yeah. So I sorry, but when I hear people saying, "Oh, the price of gas is coming down," it's like, don't give me that crap. It's still 50% higher than it was 2 years ago. So don't talk to me about it being reasonable because it ain't.
No. Thanks, Putin.
Yeah.
But,
now the price of gas was up $1 before Putin ever invaded Ukraine. So it is not the Putin price hike.
Not entirely his fault, but still, we can thank him for a lot of bad stuff.
Yeah.
And it's real easy because he's he's pretty good at being a bad guy.
Oh yeah.
He's the villain, man.
I'm certainly not defending Putin, but at the same time, I'm not going to let the domestic politicians try to pawn it all off on him.
No.
Right.
For sure.
They got some involvement too.
Yeah.
They involvement.
Well, there's plenty of blame to go around.
Yeah, we were energy independent just 2.5 years ago.
Yeah. Right.
And gas was under $2 a gallon here in the
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was.
You know, the price of gas could go back to $2, could go down another $1 at least overnight if we would open up the oil leases again
Yeah.
that the current administration canceled.
Right.
Yeah.
And Europe is begging for more energy because Putin has cut them off, and we don't want them buying from Russia and being dependent on an enemy nation anyway. So we should be producing and go back again being energy independent and a net exporter of natural gas and regular automotive and truck fluids. It's a matter of national security, if nothing else, because being the author of Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You, obviously, it's a big issue with me, national security. The things they do to us are one thing, but what I can't abide is when idiots in our own country do things that harm ourselves unnecessarily. And these gas prices are one of those things.
Yep.
Well, one of the things we got going on out here, I don't know if you've heard, our governor signed a thing that says that there will be no more new gas vehicle sales in the state of California after 2035.
Yeah, ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
and there are 10 other states that have a compact with California.
Right.
Governor Youngkin in Virginia is working with the legislature to undo the past practices in that state, which indeed tied them to the same anchor as California. Because I'm tired of hearing about choice all the time. Yeah. And it should be about choice. The left is always about choice when it comes to killing a baby, but choice on anything else, no. They want to dictate to you the kind of car you can have. You're in New Jersey, you're just across from New York. Remember when Bloomberg was banning the 24-ounce Slurpee? No, you can only get if you want a gazillion gallon Slurpee, if you can afford it and that's what you want, you should be allowed to get it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. The government should help make it other choices available, for better choices available, and more what's the word I'm looking for, more appealing to the consumer.
Right.
But they shouldn't be dictating what the consumer can and can't buy.
Exactly.
We should all be allowed to vote with our dollars ultimately.
Yeah.
But, I think that going with alternative fuels, alternative energies, if you will, is a good thing, because we're not going to have gasoline forever, and it's not always going to be cheap. And you look at other nations around the world, gas in some countries is way more expensive than what we have here. And there's some economists who say that because of the amount of tax dollars that are charged for gas to the gas consumers, but what's used to get the gas to us, both in tax rebates and whatnot, to oil companies and some of them like a tax, but and tax revenues that go to protect shipping lanes from modern day pirates and all that. That some economists are saying that the gallon of gas for us should cost like $14, which would be insane if we had to actually pay.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's dangerous, man.
Well, we're obviously not protecting the shipping lanes just for the transport of oil.
No.
we have a Navy to keep the seas free for the free flow of all goods. So that cost obviously would have to then be dissipated across all of that. But California, you're paying way more because of indeed the tax rate, because you know, and then
we pay quite a bit, and we still have terrible roads.
Yeah, and then the other issue is California, you buy more electric vehicles, and your grid can't handle it because they're shutting down power plants.
Yeah, actually, our production could probably handle the electric cars. It's the distribution that we're having the trouble with. It's not the actual production. We're producing a good amount of electricity, and they did just extend out that one nuclear plant's
lease. Yeah, now that will help.
So that'll but we still have the distribution problem.
But
getting it to the socket that you plug your car into is the problem. Not getting electricity produced in the first place. That's not the big problem.
Well, if what you were saying, if what you were saying is true, why is Gavin Newsom telling you to not charge your car and not use your appliance and put your air conditioning at 80 degrees rather than the temperature you want it for? That's to avoid brownouts, because there is not enough production out there. So I don't know what propaganda source you're listening to.
I don't know, but it's generally pretty conservative. But no, it's that it's that it's stuck. It's like the rivers of electricity are too small, and we have a huge amount of electricity being produced, but it can't get to the end consumer. And if too many consumers are trying to use electricity at the same time, that puts a strain on the distribution system. And so we can't get the electricity to the homes because that part of the infrastructure is aged and insufficient.
And there's so many other mandates on the energy companies that they have to focus on that rather than investing in the infrastructure like they need to. And then, of course, there's the fire issue you have out there constantly interrupting and taking down transmission lines.
Yep. That's California for you. Earthquakes, fires, and mudslides.
I only been to California once.
I've been there.
First time on an airplane. First time in California. It was a hell of a time, man. It was scary. I ain't gonna hold you. Being on the plane the first time. Felt like a roller coaster.
California is a beautiful place. I've been there several. I wouldn't go back there now on a dare, unless if Gavin Newsom was going to loan me his bodyguards,
right?
Because of the crime level there. The same with New York. I wouldn't go back to New York these days because of the crime levels out of control. Defund the police moronic bull going on. But California is a beautiful place. If you go, you got to go to Santa Monica Pier, although the neighborhood you got to drive through to get there, you better be armed to the teeth to get through.
Right. Santa Monica is beautiful. I've been there. Yeah. I've been, I was in downtown LA. I was in Hollywood. I discovered there. I don't know if y'all ever heard of the hotel called the Freeland Hotel or something like that. That's downtown LA somewhere.
It sounds familiar, but I can't quite place it.
That was pretty nice there. They had the rooftop. I love that. The rooftop bar.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
It's funny. There's some really nice places in downtown LA, but like you were saying, Joseph, getting through the neighborhood to get there.
Oh yeah.
That's why
I jumped on the metro.
Yeah. Well, it's like in Vegas too. I love Vegas. I go to Vegas all the time, but unfortunately, I haven't been there since 2006. It's like the
Mm,
Stratosphere Tower and Hotel. Absolutely wonderful, great place, love it. And like they've got the restaurant up at the top of the spire there. But
that's
again,
nice.
it's in a bad neighborhood.
Yeah.
You've got to try to park close to the building, and you go to the parking deck to the
Hmm.
stratosphere and back, and that's it. You can't walk around like you can
Right.
walk around downtown Vegas and along most of the strip, but that northern end of the strip by the stratosphere, you don't want to be walking around out there at night.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. No, I love downtown Vegas, Fremont Street and all that. Yeah, I've been out there in the middle of the night by myself,
Oh,
wandering around.
absolutely. That's
Yeah,
perfectly
it's well
safe. Yeah.
protected. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
But
never been out there.
oh, it's a blast.
Yeah.
Just yeah, it's like a huge open air mall, but there's this huge under over the they've paved the street over with sidewalk, and then over the street is a covering that has all these multicolored bulbs, and they do like little movies and pictures to music
Wow.
and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of cool. And then they have open air stages where they'll have musicians playing. I've seen some great bands out there too, and some of
That's
them
awesome.
you've never heard of anywhere outside of their town, but they got a shot to play Vegas
Okay.
because of the way downtown is. But yeah, it's definitely well worth the visit. Um,
Yeah, you don't have to be a big gambler. In fact,
no,
I don't gamble much when I go out there. I usually go out there, I'll drop a couple $100, a little on the blackjack tables, a little on the
Hmm.
slots, and maybe one trip to roulette or the craps table. But I mainly go for the shows. But after
Right.
you've been out there, in fact, I've got an article. You could go to tinyurl.com, JLD articles, uh, and you scroll down quite a far pace. And I even refer to this in my book, Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You. I've got an introduction chapter where there are links to other things because there's a chapter in my book that takes place in Lachlan. And obviously, my character has to fly into Vegas to then
Right.
drive out there. So I have a link to my Vegas review, I guess, for lack of other to call it. And I go into all those things, the things that you can see for free, and then of course tons of shows to see. And having a rental car, you've got to go drive out to the Hoover Dam. You can take
Mm.
a bus tour to the Grand Canyon, but if you got a little extra cash, I highly recommend the helicopter tour to the Grand Canyon. They land right in the bottom of the canyon.
wow,
Fantastic. Also,
Wow.
take a helicopter tour of the strip where they can, they tell you, the old Stardust used to be there, or the
Okay.
old, where the Rat Pack used to play used to be there, but it's this now. And you get a great history lesson for when you go. And the Red
That's
Rock
awesome.
Canyon, you want to drive out to Red Rock Canyon to see the beautiful colored rocks and the hieroglyphics from thousands of years ago. Hoover Dam, uh, Grand Canyon. There's just so much to see out there that it takes
That's
a decade of going to really see those things. And after
yeah.
that decade, there'll be all new shows to see after you've
Right.
seen the other ones. I still want to go out there and see Carrot Top. I'm not sure if he's still playing the Luxor, but I'd really love to see him because he's great with all that prop stuff.
Mhm.
last
That's
time
awesome.
last time I went to Vegas, Rudy and I went, and I walked away with $900 off the craps table.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that was
How
after
much you
paying for the
put down?
trip.
How much you put down?
Oh wow, I must have played with like $300-400 at different points.
You walked out with five?
But yeah, after I paid for the trip and the money I put up front, I walked away with $900.
Wow, that's a good deal. I never walk away with money from Vegas. I do decent at the local Detroit casinos. You know, I can walk in with $50 and sometimes, you know, walk out with about the same $50 or maybe $100. So I mean that's a successful trip.
Yeah.
If you could do that,
Yeah.
anytime you walk out of a casino with the same amount of money you walked in with, call it a
Right.
win.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a gambler, but I bought a couple scratch offs, and I won 500 on one. Then I went back and bought another one, won 200 on that one,
Wow.
and then I bought another one, and then I won like 400 on that one. I was like, wow. I'm like, all right, I'm done. No more.
Pretty
I'm like, I
lucky.
just cashed it in.
You should have flown out to Vegas with some of that money. You were on a winning streak.
I should have. I was having good luck that day.
Well, you could do Atlantic City, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
Atlantic
I've never
City is
been
not
there.
that far
I've
away from me.
heard, I've heard it's not as much fun as Vegas. But
Oh, yeah.
Nah.
I've
It's
been to
nice.
Atlantic City. It's nice, but a lot of the casinos have shut down. So Atlantic City isn't what it was 20 years ago. So, the 2008 housing crash and the stock market, and it's probably going to get worse again because I think we got another housing bubble that's going to burst, and this current recession may turn into a depression. And
It's coming soon.
you know, people don't have the loose cash then.
Soon.
Although you get some people, they're desperate. They go to the casino more thinking, that's my only way to get out of the hole I'm in is to win something. But yeah,
Right.
Atlantic City used to be really, really nice. But then again, so did Beirut, Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
Beirut used to be the Vegas of the Middle East, and it's like Somalia or Kabul, Afghanistan, it's actually like downtown New York City or downtown San Francisco nowadays with the rampant destruction that we see in our own country these days.
Yeah, yes, we do.
Yep, we definitely do. I haven't been to any shows in Vegas, but I did go to a show once in Laughlin. That was Ed Sullivan review, and they had a guy playing Ed Sullivan, and they had Jerry Lee Lewis impersonator, and Topo Gigio.
Nice.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
Yeah, the impersonator shows are great. I think Stratosphere still has it. They've got an impersonator shows. The last one I seen that they had a great Michael Jackson impersonator, a Madonna, a Cher, a Britney Spears. So entertainers that can impersonate another will gravitate to Vegas, and they can make good money. But yeah, you mentioned Laughlin. Again, there's a chapter in Terror Strikes coming soon to a city near you. That's chapter titled The Pyramid. Well, it's about a fictional pyramid type casino in Laughlin because, Luxor, if I kind of tried to use them, would probably sue me. So.
Yeah. No, I know a great impersonator. He does Freddie Mercury of Queen. He's got a Queen impersonator band.
Cool.
And they do well. They do very well. They've got they're called the Kings of Queen, and they've got a show coming up beginning of November out in Murfreesboro, out in Tennessee, and they're flying. The club is flying them out from here in Southern California, from Orange County out to just to do a couple shows.
We've got a really we've got a really good Ozzy cover band around the Detroit area. I forget what I forget what they call themselves, but yeah, I mean, there's some really good impersonator bands, cover bands like that.
Tribute bands, I guess.
There you go. That's
there's a lot of.
There's another good Kiss band around our area too, because Kiss is still very, very big in the Detroit area because they kind of got their biggest start around the Cadillac, Michigan area for some reason.
Yeah, it's a weird place to get your start, but yeah,
Yeah, for real.
Well, a lot of people, of course, want to, if they can, get a following in Detroit, and it'll grow elsewhere because, of course, we've got the Motown history, right? Right. And so we've got Madonna that's from the area, although I'm not a huge fan. Eminem, who I'm so with. Kid Rock, I like Kid Rock because Kid Rock does a lot of different stuff. He crosses over country, pop, rap. He does a lot of different things. So I appreciate that variety. And, and other bands, of course, that I'm just drawing a blank on now that got their, or persons or groups. Alice Cooper, of course, came from our area. Ted Nugent is from the Detroit area.
Man.
Yeah, you got a lot of people from there.
Yeah, I've seen Kid Rock live before, and he puts on an incredible show. Very talented, plays a mess of different instruments. He's not just a pretty face. If you will.
I bet Grizzy would give him a run for his money, though.
Oh!
I'm trying to play you up here. Go with the flow. I'm
going with
it. There's a new song for you too. Go with the flow.
There's a
saying everybody uses. There's your next hit. You're welcome.
Yep. Go with the flow. I got you. I'm gonna remember that.
Make sure I need a writing credit.
I got you. I'll put you in the credits. Yeah, I was filming a video before I got on here. As you see the green screen behind me.
Yeah.
I'll film my own video.
Nice.
Well, The Love Is Blind, I didn't film that. Etchy House Films filmed that, but I shoot my own, like, certain songs, whatever, by myself.
You did a video for one of your songs, or?
Yeah, off the album, yeah.
Oh,
To the Bank. Yeah.
To the bank?
Yeah.
To the bank.
To the bank.
We all got to get to the bank.
Thankfully today, like I was saying before, like in the 70s and 80s when I was dabbling in music, you had to get a record deal. It's not like today with the laptops the way they are and the mixers as advanced as they are and the digital video options and the CGI and everything, the effects you can do in just on a laptop computer. You can do those things on your own today, unlike like when MTV first started, back when they actually showed videos. That took whole production teams to create those videos.
Yes, it did.
Millions of
a lot. It took a lot. And then that's very true.
Yep.
No.
Getting to the point where you can do a lot of that stuff on your phone too.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
I actually shot a freestyle video with a S9.
Okay.
Yeah.
The camera qualities on the phones nowadays, any phone that's come out over the last couple of years, the quality is, I mean, the like 10 megapixel quality. It's like higher definition than most people have high definition TVs in their homes
And that's
to be
true.
able to view them on. You know, it's like technology is always rushing ahead, and other sectors have to keep up. It's like I do have a 1080 TV, and you know I don't see the need though for a 4K because there's not a whole lot out in 4K right now, and really the 4K resolution is such that our eyes almost don't even perceive it. You know, it's so granular that our eyes don't see to that level. So why am I going to spend $3,000 on a TV when I can buy a 1080p for $300? And high definition movies or Blu-ray disc movies on them are fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No,
that's true.
I can shoot a 4K video on my phone, but I can't watch it on my laptop.
Yeah. I don't know if I could watch a 4K movie on my laptop. I never tried it.
Yeah, well,
I'm about to try it now. See, now you got me thinking.
I could watch it. It just wouldn't be in 4K because I don't have a 4K screen.
Yeah, I got an HP, so yeah, I don't know what mine is neither.
Yeah, I had one for a little while, but took it back to get a better processor.
Right.
Because if you go, I don't know if you guys have them out there, but we've got a chain of stores called Costco out here, and you can return electronics within 90 days, no questions asked. So I had this laptop for like 60 days, and then they had a special on a laptop with a lesser screen but a better processor, and so I said, I'll take that sacrifice. It was like $100 cheaper too.
Yeah, I mean the options. You got a lot of different options, and there's always trade-offs. What is more important to you? And processing power. Obviously, with what you do, you need that quick processing to be able to have. You need a high definition camera and processor to be able to process your videos and things like that.
See, I don't got no high tech camera. I got this little guy. He do a little justice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is that a Nikon or a Canon?
It's a Canon Rebel T6 high.
Okay.
Yeah, I got an old Fuji FinePix digital camera, which again, I mean the 1 megapixel quality on that is plenty good enough for most photos.
They actually take good photos too.
Yeah,
they do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
they definitely do.
I earlier in the year, or maybe it was the end of last year, I don't remember either. Being a former IT guy, what a lot of people don't realize is you might have been able to just, although with the deal they offered, what you did made sense. But I always recommend, no matter what system you get, once you feel like it's getting older and starting to slow down, you want to maximize the memory in there. And then you can also always upgrade to a solid state drive. So it's not a physical hard drive, it's all just digital. And you will be amazed overnight the quality and speed of your system. Because, a lot of it is memory consumption. They put the memory in, and then, of course, your Windows is doing what? It updates all the time. And they're piling more and more and more crap that takes up more and more space.
More memory.
It needs more memory. So if you double your memory, your processor speed greatly improves because you're not having to use your processor speed as much to swap things in and out of memory.
So now it's going to go slow.
Yeah. Yep. Until you upgrade. That's the.
Yep. I just had my buddy.
obsolescence.
I just had my buddy wipe out my computer. It runs
Yeah.
pretty fast now, so it's pretty good.
But yeah, I have a solid state drive. That was one of the requirements I had last time I got the computer. The
Yep.
next computer I get, I'm gonna get because Rudy's gonna do some work for me, so I'm gonna get him a like one of those Chromebooks, but I'm gonna get one with a flash memory on it and
Okay.
stuff because he doesn't need to do much with it, just enough to run a calendar and make phone calls and stuff. But
Always keep a terabyte hard drive too.
yeah.
That's much needed. Drag
That's
everything
amazing.
to it.
Then you need 2 terabytes.
Yeah, too. Or 5.
Well, I actually own an 8 terabyte hard drive that I got because I thought I might need it, but half a terabyte has been plenty.
Right.
So this 8 terabyte hard drive sits unused in a drawer.
What do they look like? That's the tower ones, right?
That's the tower about.
Yeah.
Not that big.
Yeah. Like a little motor.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm an IT guy. I remember when we used to operate on a 1 meg hard drive with 64K RAM. And everything was on floppy disk, right?
Yeah, floppy disk. I remember that too.
Oh, I'll do you one better than that. I used to own a Commodore 64 with the tape drive.
Yeah.
It was a little cassette. It was a little cassette player.
Yeah.
And, that hooked up to your
Yeah,
computer.
remember that? Yeah.
Yeah.
The boom box.
Yeah, the boom box.
I remember the Atari, the video game, Atari.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, I remember the original Pong, where that was it. You just bought the one little thing, and that's all it did was Pong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were happy to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had.
Then came Nintendo, Super Nintendo, all that.
Yeah, all that stuff. Now you can get all those games on a box like the size of a donut.
Like a game board.
Yeah. I had a little console that was like that had all the, like 1,000 classic games in that one thing. And unfortunately, the ex-wife has it right now. But
she's not playing it.
Yeah.
She ain't playing it. She ain't playing it.
No.
And we never had kids, so I certainly know I've got no kids to be playing it.
She holding it hostage.
Yeah, damn it, I want my games back.
See, yeah, I'm an Xbox fan. I love my Xbox One.
Okay.
Yeah, I love playing Call of Duty on there. That's fun.
I never got into those virtual reality first-person player type games.
Right.
But those have come a long way. And this is a weird aside, but I'm going to make a quick pivot. My favorite movie is The 13th Floor. And the reason why that relates is we're talking games. Sim City. Now, a writer, I can't think of his name, but in the 1960s wrote a book called Simulacron 3 that the movie The 13th Floor is based on. He was like an H.G. Wells or an Orwell. He saw the future. But imagine Sim City with virtual reality goggles, where you literally download yourself into a Sim City game. And that's the premise of Simulacron 3 and The 13th Floor. It was a Matrix movie before the Matrix trilogy came out. And to me, it is a far more believable thing because, again, we're around the corner from that happening, where you put on 3D goggles and download yourself into your Sim City game.
That's crazy. Everything is being technology.
It sounds a lot like Ready Player One.
Yeah, that's kind of a spin-off. You're right.
Yeah.
Ready Player One was kind of a rip-off of the Simulacron 3 book, right?
Okay. 13th Floor.
Yeah, I
13.
highly
Never
recommend that
heard of
if you
that.
get
Never
a
heard of it.
chance to see it.
What
Again,
is
you know, The Matrix, it came out the same year as the Matrix film, 1999, but it kind of got overshadowed by the, you know, bigger cast.
Right.
The
Right.
13th Floor has got Michael D'Onofrio, or if that's how you pronounce his name, I can never remember. But, you know, a lot of people know him. It's got Dennis Haysbert, Gretchen Mol, Armin Mueller-Stahl. So they had a pretty good cast too, but they couldn't compete with Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, kind of a tough competition there.
No, I gotta write that down because I'm gonna forget. So let me write that in my phone right quick in my messages. I want to watch it. I'm interested.
I own 3 copies of it on DVD in case if one gets scratched.
Right. You said the 13th floor, right?
The 13th floor. Yep. The tagline is 2 taglines. One is question reality, which I mentioned the 13th floor in my book, Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You, because I relate to it as in people who want to live in a delusion, right? They prefer an alternate reality than to what's going on around them. So, and now I forgot where I was going with that.
Yeah, you were talking about the taglines for the movie.
Oh yeah, question.
Yeah, the tagline.
One, which makes sense, and the other is the 13th floor. You can go there even though it doesn't exist.
Right.
What's a great tagline?
Okay, that's pretty cool.
You know, because buildings.
That's pretty cool.
Buildings generally don't have a 13th floor.
Right.
Out of superstition. So it's just so well put together. Again, the book is fantastic. The movie, it's a Roland Emmerich film. And who is the mastermind behind Stargate and Independence Day. So I mean that guy is a genius. A genius.
Yeah, that's definitely a genius.
He incorporates drama, you know, a little bit of crime drama, film noir, romance, thriller, and sci-fi, because the original book was a sci-fi book. To me, it's the most well-rounded film ever created. And I know I may be setting you up to be disappointed when you see it now, because when somebody plays up something so high, you might, you know, get let down because you'll have such high expectations. But to me, it's the most well-rounded film because it has so many elements in it. And like this new project I have with Indiegogo, I want to write a book about how to write and publish a book. Again, so others can achieve the dream I did of being an internationally published author. And I go into that sort of thing where you need various elements, you know, aspects of different things. If your book or your movie or your music is too monotone, too plain, it doesn't have enough changes here and there to it, people are going to tune out.
Yeah. You need something that's going to gravitate and give a feel, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why there are verses and choruses and usually bridges, and you have a solo of some sort. So there's elements.
Yes.
It's not just
you need that one specific catchphrase.
Right.
You need that special catchphrase.
Yeah, like your blah, blah, blah. You know, go back to that.
Like Linkin Park. You know, me tell you, it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean?
I love Linkin Park.
I love them too.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, was pretty good at doing that kind of thing too, with the change up and starting going, you know, like sounding all calm and mellow, and then boom, boom, and then head off in another direction. And you know, I mean, that's why Smells Like Teen Spirit was such a big hit, was because of that surprise.
Yes.
Started out one way and then boom, a different
boom,
direction.
just hit you.
Yeah. comes the vacuum cleaner again. That's exactly what it sounds like.
Wow.
Somebody coming to the vacuum cleaner.
Have you got a
What
Roomba
happened?
going over there, Bill?
No, we don't vacuum.
What happened?
No,
Everybody
maid hasn't
froze
been
for a
by in
minute.
few months.
Yeah, this connection is, yeah, I can, Bill still sounds like he's way off in a tunnel somewhere. Grizzy, you're sounding good, but both of your videos are kind of fuzzy. For some reason, they look in standard
My
definition.
light went out.
Oh,
It went out on me.
yeah.
Yeah, mine's
Got
always
no
a
more
little
lights.
fuzzy. It's part of it's the background. I think I have the background on blur.
Yeah.
And and that's why.
Yeah, my background is pretty bad.
Yeah, that's I put my book name in my background there.
Yep.
You could see Terror Strikes. So
it's backwards. I can't read it backwards.
it's showing. Is it really showing backwards?
It's showing backwards.
It's backwards. Yeah, it is.
Oh, brother. So it's rat something. But yeah, it's one of the reasons why too, since I'm doing a lot of, interviews to promote the book, I had to upgrade my Zoom. I was using the free Zoom, but I've got a good high definition camera built into this laptop. But if you're using the free Zoom, they purposefully degrade your camera signal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's
what mine looking like right now.
Yeah, I had to get the paid Zoom for I had to pay for Zoom for work. But,
did you?
But I use Skype because it works with a program called OBS. I'm not using OBS right now because they did an upgrade and it changed all my settings and I haven't gotten everything straightened back out yet. But
wow.
OBS lets me insert pictures, and there you go. Now it says Terror Strikes.
Hey,
there it is.
Now it looks backwards to me, but hey, it's more important that it looks forward to the audience.
Yeah.
There it is.
But with OBS, I can put in things like the end credits and pictures and other things like that. But yeah, I haven't been able to fix the NDI settings because of the upgrade. They did an update and so it changed everything and now.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I
know.
know.
Always happens though.
Yeah, it does. That's a problem with, again, being an IT guy. Once you open up the code and start messing around, you go to add something and you'll end up breaking something while you're in there.
And it's crazy too, like when you do the upgrades, man, sometimes it ruins your phone, make your phone slow. Yeah. I was trying to figure that out. I'm like, what's going on my phone? One upgrade I did beforehand, it ain't do nothing. The second upgrade just damaged my phone completely. I'm like, wow. I'm like, what are they putting in these upgrades?
Yeah, in part, well, Apple is facing lawsuits for that. They purposefully, willfully, and with malice aforethought, put in code that drains your battery quicker to try to force you to upgrade to a new phone.
To get another one, Yep. I think that's what they're doing with the Androids too, because my battery life is burning out too, all of a sudden, ever since I upgraded it.
Yep. They're purposefully putting code in that runs in the background that then sucks the energy.
Wow.
I gotta find that code. Yeah, I gotta find that code, man. I'm gonna have to bring it to a computer genius.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's malice as much as it is profit.
Well, that's the malice. Yeah. The malice is they want to force you to buy something else so they get more profit. No, that's exactly what I'm referring to. But on your phone, you said you have Android. You can go into your Android settings, and there's a kill option. Like some of the things that run in the background that you don't ever use. You can tag those to kill on start, so that helps save the battery.
Yes.
Now they have an energy saver mode. I don't recommend that though, because you need to tinker in the settings yourself and kill the things that you don't need running in the background.
Exactly. That's true. I seen that the other day too.
Yeah, you can probably find YouTube videos on exactly how to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, YouTube is everything. Or Google.
You can find just about everything on. Found myself. I don't know how we got on it, but I was doing something, and what was it? And the YouTube on the TV got put onto what was that? That PF Sense or something like that. The guy talking about the network settings and. Yeah, I don't know how we got on it, but we're watching this guy change his network settings in this thing called the PF Sense, and it's just sitting there running, and it's like hypnotic.
Wow.
Like I'm sitting here doing whatever, and then I'm looking up, and next thing I know, I've watched like 15 minutes of this thing.
Yeah. Well,
I have no idea what he's talking about.
It's the same thing with if you buy an Amazon Fire Stick or an Amazon Cube to stream, you definitely want to go into YouTube and search for toggling off unnecessary settings and watch that, go through that. It's the same thing. They have a ton of crap you don't want, you don't need, you didn't ask them for, they force onto your system anyway, that you need to go in and toggle off in order to save space on your Fire Stick and make your Fire Stick perform better, because again, there's still a computer chip in there.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people jailbreak it.
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, I run Kodi. I run Kodi on my Fire Stick, and that's exactly why I need to turn off all that crap. Even then, still, like Amazon shopping, it will not let me delete it. I don't want it. I don't need it. Get it the bleep off my damn thing. It
won't let me delete it off my phone.
No, and it's the same with PCs though, with Microsoft, right? Buy Microsoft to be the operating system, and they load a bunch of crap on there you didn't ask for. They won't let you delete it.
It's the same thing on the phones too. There's some apps you just can't get rid of.
You can't delete.
I'm never going to. You can't.
That's where you have to go into the settings and toggle to force kill it.
Yeah, you got to force stop it.
Yeah.
But you can't delete it. That makes a lot of sense.
It's still taking up space, and then taking up space on my computer hard drive, because I back up my phone to my computer, and then it takes forever to back up the computer to the cloud, because there's a bunch of crap on there I don't want, but I got to perform a backup in case if it crashes,
Right. Yep.
Because not only is my current book on there, like I said, that write and publish thing I'm trying to do through Indiegogo is on there. Another book that is not a sequel to Terror Strikes coming soon to a city near you, because I'm not like any other author. I throw out the formulaic creative writing guidelines. I think we talked about this last time, Bill. 99.9% of all authors and books are cookie cutter. They follow a formula. They're just different characters in a different location, and the story is the same, just slightly changed up. I threw all that out the window, so I'm not going to do a sequel. I'm not trying to sucker anybody into a trilogy. This book is this book. You read it, and you're done. That's the whole story. I'm not trying to string you along. especially in today's economy with everybody's budget being so tight, and why I kept my page count down to where I could sell the book for $20 rather than $30. That $10 makes a big difference. But I've got another book that's a slight spin-off of this book, because in one of the chapters there's a letter to the editor, and I'm not going to say the name, and I also can't say the working title of that other book because it would give too much away and some other author might steal the idea. But in my book, you'll come across a letter to the editor, and that's a wink and a nod kind of a thing set up for another book.
Okay.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I actually wanted to start filming movies. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to take a whole different direction from what I'm doing with music. You know what I mean? Because music always gonna be there. But I always think about it like when I'm laying down, like, yo, I need to do something different in my life. You feel what I'm saying? So I started like watching love story movies, like multiples of them. And I'm just trying to get ideas and trying to big up myself, like feel like, wow, I could probably do that too. Cause I seen like this one movie called Love. It was weird. It's about like a guy dating this chick, and I guess she was using drugs and he was using drugs, and then they went their separate way. Then he felt some type of way that she with somebody else, and then try to get her again and this and that, and then she disappeared and never was found, whatever. So I got inspiration from that, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm about to create my own movie. So I wrote the script. I was done with it. I'm like towards like the end of the movie almost. It's really interesting. Like how me, like from not knowing how to write anything about like movies or nothing, or trying to come up and be creative with a movie.
Well, again, in this day and age with technology, you can download a screenwriting program. And it will help you write your screenplay. Yeah.
You know, right now I'm writing it on WordPad. You know what I mean? I'm getting everything written down so I can edit it and all that, and then I'm transfer it to like a script, you know, program. So
yeah, because script
that's what I'm going to do.
Formatted in a certain way.
In a certain way, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I've had a few filmmakers on the show, including Darren Gordon Smith, who wrote the music for Repo, the Genetic Opera, and a new movie he just released called The Second Age of Aquarius. Both movies are absolutely must-see.
Nice.
But, Repo is hilarious. It's how to describe it? It's like Rocky Horror meets Blade Runner. I think you might say, because it's got some of the darker elements of that kind of a movie. Paul Sorvino was in it. Talk about a movie with a few stars in it. Paris Hilton. Anthony Stewart Head from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Ooh, okay.
In it. Yeah. And then his newer movie was The Second Age of Aquarius. It's pretty cool. It's nice. About a programmer, a coder, who accidentally brings back to life a '60s musician, and as like an avatar, but it comes to life in the real world, and she has a relationship with it. It's really weird.
That is.
Yeah, that reminds me a little bit of the movie Simone with I can never remember the guy. You know, remember the hoo-ah guy?
Yeah. Al Pacino.
Al Pacino.
That's Simone, yeah.
Or you can also pronounce it Sim1 because it's written S1M0NE because it's about code. And it goes back to a movie in the 70s with Susan Day. There was a movie called Looker, which is like that, about how with movies today, like the movie 300, all those soldiers in the background were digitally replaced.
Right.
They can literally bring back Biggie and Tupac and Elvis, and I've been watching America's Got Talent. Did you see the deep fake they were doing? They had Simon Cowell sing an opera because of all the deep fake that you can do with video these days. But I said all that to say this, because you mentioned it's like this and that, and when you can describe things as a mashup, that helps people bring it together. And usual question I get in an interview is, if you were to describe other books, what is your book most like? And I kind of take it a different direction. I say, well, it's kind of like Clancy's Sum of All Fears. That was a book made into a movie. There no new. It's not a spy novel though, but the action aspects and the political thriller aspects that meets the Morgan Freeman Deep Impact movie. Well, my book doesn't have anything about a meteor, but the aspects of what does the government know and what aren't they telling us? So my book is kind of a mashup between Sum of All Fears and Deep Impact.
Oh, have you seen Don't Look Up? Talk about a movie about the government not wanting people to know what's going on. Yeah, it's great. It's what is it? Leonardo DiCaprio's in it. What's her name? Meryl Streep is in it. She plays the president, and all sorts of people are in it. I think it's on. I want to say it's on Netflix, but
when it just came out.
Yeah, it's like within the last year, I think.
Okay.
I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah,
me too.
Don't look up. But yeah, there's a meteor coming to destroy the Earth, and the government tells people don't look up.
Yeah.
Oh. I just looked up.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Deep Impact movie then, with a meteor.
Yeah,
and also there was a Sean Connery one called Meteor, another really good film, which this has nothing to do with a meteor, but one of the disaster kind of movies that I most like was with Tommy Lee Jones and Anne Heche, called Volcano.
Volcano, that was my movie.
Remember that one?
That was my movie right there.
Yeah.
It takes place in California, and there's an active volcano in Los Angeles. Great movie. And also Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, San Andreas.
San Andreas.
Another great disaster movie.
That's a good movie.
In California. Good movies.
Yep.
I like really terrible disaster movies.
Well, you probably like the original Charlton Heston earthquake movie then.
Since we talk about crazy movies, what do y'all feel about that new Halloween movie coming out?
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Because I grew up on those Halloween movies.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, this one's called Halloween Ends. And I hope that it indeed is going to be the last one, because, they're just kind of getting crazy in the same thing over again. But again, I've seen them all. So this one, I may wait and see it on streaming. We're talking about Broken Fire Sticks. I think I may stream it there rather than see it in the show, because, the last one was kind of disappointing. And when they left that cliffhanger at the end to show, well, we're for sure going to be another movie. I paid for this.
It's coming on Peacock.
Oh,
it'll be on Peacock, October 14th.
I'll stream it there on my Kodi Fire Stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep Peacock for another month for it then.
Yeah, just for that.
Yeah.
I'm going to the movie theater watching it.
Yeah, I'm not
paying for Peacock.
I'm not paying for Peacock, but I can watch what's on it.
Right.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
talk about
I'm paying the $5.
they got like 4 different endings for that movie.
Oh,
Yeah, they say in the movie theater is gonna be one, Peacock is gonna be another one, and somewhere else in a couple places is gonna be
I
different
like when they do that. They don't do that very
Yeah.
often, but there's a few movies that are like that. You know, I love like DVDs. You can get sometimes
Yeah.
alternative endings
Yeah,
or
deleted scenes.
behind the scenes. Yeah,
Deleted
interviews
scenes, yeah.
with the actors and the director.
Yes.
You get even more of that on a Blu-ray because they could fit more. Because like the 13th floor, back to that, there's some stuff on there, but they don't have the alternate ending on the DVD. But you can find the alternate ending on YouTube if you search the 13th floor alternate ending.
Yep.
And in my opinion, the alternate ending is actually better because to me it fits, and I don't want to give away the movie, but it fits the dystopian future concept of why you would want to escape into a simulated world where there was more available. But of course, it didn't test well in theaters because, you know, people are lame. They want the, you know, the happy, perfect ending. And it's like, give me a break. It's like with my book. I didn't write that crap. I wrote something different. If you want different, you want my book. If you want a cookie cutter book, buy Clancy or Patterson.
That's telling them. Yeah, what was it? The War of the Roses was famous for breaking with that happy ending demand. For that, Danny DeVito refused to give them a happy ending.
Yeah, Kathleen Turner and
Michael
Douglas. Yeah. Oh, great movie. Great movie.
Yeah, that was definitely a great one.
I've got that in a VHS tape in the attic somewhere. I'm going to have to go dig it up and watch that now. I was, again, I mentioned Savaged Unfiltered. We talked about music the other day. Well, last week we did a whole show on movies, and I didn't think of that one to mention, but a previous show, somehow we got on Madonna. And so when we did the movie show, I thought of Who's That Girl from the 1980s. And to me, and I watched that again last week too, because to me, that is a hilarious film. Again, I'm not a huge Madonna fan, you know, because we know her from being here from Detroit. So we know all the dirt. But that is a great movie, hilarious, you know, tongue in cheek all the way through, not belly roll kind of laughs, but you know, great, you know, again, tongue in cheek kind of wink, wink, wink kind of jokes. I just love that movie.
See, I have a thing for bad movies, like really seriously awful movies. I also really like really, really good movies, but it seems the bad movies seem to be more interesting. Everything I own on DVD is a bad movie. I don't own any good movies on DVD. I own like UHF and
I do
from Outer Space.
Yeah.
And Basketball.
I don't have that one, but do you have?
That one's pretty bad.
This one, I wouldn't say it's a bad movie, but it is definitely a D movie, D level. Have you ever seen They Live?
Yes. Oh my gosh, that is
who plays in that?
I love that movie. It's got a 15-minute fight scene. To extend the movie, you gotta see They Live. Literally, it's a 15-minute fight scene. It's so funny in a way.
It starred one of the WWE wrestlers. Was it Roddy Piper?
I can't remember, but yeah.
But yeah, They Live. it's basically the premise is the star finds these sunglasses, and suddenly he can see the secret messages and see the aliens that are living in his society. And it's all modern day society. And
Yeah.
the kicker is he ends up the actor, the guy who played it, ends up believing this in real life, thinking that this is the way real life is. He got so into the movie.
Oh God, he went
Yeah.
all Oliver Stone then, huh?
Yes. Yeah, he went
Brave.
But was talking about, well, of course, the master of bad movies is Ed Wood.
Yeah.
The king of terrible movies. And we were I had to go out to Dallas last week to do some training, and which has really messed up my life right now. But was sitting there at the bar talking to some guy, and we were talking about movies, and he reminded me that Ed Wood made a movie called Glenn or Glenda, which was basically a semi-autobiographical movie about a man who was a transvestite.
Oh.
I remember that
Back
movie.
in the 50s.
Yeah, I do. I remember that movie. I do.
It is awful. It is so bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of
I
that, that's what they pushing nowadays.
When you said it. Yep.
Yeah.
They pushing that heavy today, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, especially on kids. It's not right, man.
Yeah, that's right. I'm glad you brought that up, Grizzy. Yeah, you know, I have gay and lesbian friends, and they know my position as a Christian regarding traditional marriage, and we get along just fine. There's gays, there's lesbians, there's whatever who just want tolerance and acceptance, and we get along just fine. But I coined the term gaytivists because they're gay activists, gaytivists. And most of the transvestites, unfortunately, are gaytivists. And they're pedophiles, and they're pushing pedophilia in the schools. It's just
bad.
You know, with the transvestite story hour stuff, they're peddling pedophilia, and there's got to be a line somewhere. And in fact, on Twitter and Facebook, there's a group called Gays Against Groomers that just got banned because gays and lesbians are even saying, you know what? This is going way too far.
Yeah. Wow, man. Unbelievable.
You know, it's like, yeah, there's a difference between tolerance and falling in all the way.
Yeah, pushing your lifestyle on people, and that's what they're doing. They're not asking, children. Right, especially on children. Yeah. I mean, we have laws normally to protect children, and they've gone way over the line on that. Yeah, tolerance and acceptance is one thing. Recruiting people into the lifestyle, gaytivism or gaytivists, is a whole other kettle of fish. I'm not looking to push my sexuality on anybody else, and I can't tolerate them pushing it on me either. But again, I know gays and lesbians, we get along just fine. And even weirdly enough, in Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You, there's a chapter called Love versus Fake Hate that touches on this because it's in a way a form of terrorism. They're terrorizing people into silence. And you know, when calling out racism is one thing where racism exists because it does still. It's nowhere near like it was in the 1950s, but it exists. But the Smollett hate hoax is a whole other thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It's sad today, man. Yeah. Very is.
Yeah.
I feel for these kids today. Feel for these kids today, man.
Yeah, I know. That's part of the problem. People refuse to let kids be kids and let them have their innocence. They're trying
Yeah.
to push so much crap on them, like sexualization. There is no need for sexualization in grade schools. None.
Exactly, man.
It's about
Elementary school.
right? It's about
What?
appropriateness. And you, as a parent, it is your job to decide when your child is ready to have those discussions about sex and sexuality and other
Exactly.
things in the world. It is
Yep.
not the job of some transvestite story hour idiot peddling it on a 8-year-old.
Yep. And it's sad that they talking about it in school too.
Yeah.
Like, how they get that okay to do that?
Yeah. Well, it's
How
like,
did that pass?
yeah,
Well,
it's like
it's a problem that's kind of cross subject. It's not just about sexuality; it's also about the actual learning and everything. Parents have pretty much handed their children over and handed all the educational responsibilities over to the schools.
yeah,
And while there is something to be said for having a professional teach your child about a subject, especially when you don't know anything about that subject, but there's another thing it's a completely different thing to surrender all of that responsibility
Right.
onto some third party. It's still ultimately your responsibility to educate your child. And studies have
Exactly.
shown that parents who are involved in the education of their children do better.
yeah, yeah. And that's one of the many sub themes in my book. As you can
Yeah.
tell, we've talked terror strikes coming soon to a city near you. The overall thread is about terrorism, but it's about so many other themes. And
Yes.
education is also in there. My character Martin's wife, Hope, spends time with the kids every day going over what did they learn in school and what have they taught that's pure propaganda that she needs to counter, or the history that they're not being taught in school. It's an important sub theme because I'd like to say this. I came up with this a month ago. Uh, we're paying teachers more and more money to fail our children more and more. We pay them more, our test scores go down. And like you were alluding to with what's being peddled in schools, remember the 3 R's: reading, writing, arithmetic, and I'll
Yep.
throw in there history because there's an R in there too. They've replaced the 3 R's with a new set of 3 R's: radicalism, raunch, and racism with the CRT crap.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Yeah. It is for sure.
So you can borrow that now. The new 3 R's. It's no longer reading, writing, and arithmetic. It's radicalism, raunch, and racism.
Yep. That's the truth, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really sad what's become of it. But all it takes to fix it is people to stand up, stand back up, and
It seemed like everybody is scared to stand up and
yeah,
fight for what they believe in. You know what I mean?
right,
They
yeah,
don't want to step up. Nobody do.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's because Merrick Garland has deemed with the FBI that people who speak up at school board are supposedly terrorists. I mean,
Right.
again, I wrote the definitive book on terrorism of our era, and it's not me saying that. Others say that about my book. I'm just repeating it.
Yeah.
And they're trying to say someone who cares about their child not having radicalism, raunch, and racism pushed upon their kid in the school as a domestic terrorist, give me a break. And that's the best thing that came out of the Wuhan virus hysteria and all these Zoom classes. Mama bears and Papa bears have been awakened. They've seen the crap you're peddling. I know plenty in my area that they are so incensed they're running for school board. You know,
Right.
they were never into politics before, but they say, you know, we have got to take these schools back.
Yes.
Yep. Absolutely. And it's got to be it's got to be about educating children again.
Yes.
You know, getting them on a better path. You know,
yeah, exactly.
What we know and what the generate. You know, I mean, what's the use of standing on the shoulders of giants if we don't actually do it? You know,
yep.
we don't. You know, the children need to know what happened, what came before. You know, in an honest and straightforward way, but something that's understandable, and so that they can become giants themselves.
Yeah, you've got to learn
the leads of the next generation.
You got to learn both the good and bad of history so that you don't repeat the bad of history and you improve upon the good of history.
Yeah.
Is the saying goes. Those who don't know history are condemned to repeat it, or as we've more commonly known, is that history doesn't repeat, but it sure as heck does seem to rhyme a lot. And if you don't understand history, you can't learn from it. And that's one of the reasons why they don't like to teach it. They want compliant, you know, moldable little robots that will follow orders.
We're teaching kids how to be on juries.
Yeah, they teach them what to think rather than how to think. And that's wrong. Because again, at the end of the day, your morals and somebody else's morals may slightly vary. That's why it's up to the parents to decide. The children belong to the parents. They don't belong to a government bureaucrat or some special interest union.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And like in school, they only teach you a little bit of history. Like they only give you like, they basically trying to make like Christopher Columbus was this big godly guy. You know what I mean? But deep inside, he was a a-hole. You feel what I'm saying? Killing people. Doing all this demise stuff, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
How they teach these kids like nothing the real thing.
Well, that's why I decided that this book was the book that needed to be out now. It's historical fiction. I blend, or as I call it, faction. Because
you know what? You got to send me a link in
fact and fiction. So there's some of the history that kids don't learn about. So if an adult buys this book and reads it and sees that I wrote it in a way that you can hand it to a junior high school or a high school student so they can get things they're not getting in school while still getting an entertaining read, you know, a fictional aspect read of entertainment while still learning something at the same time. And the fact that there's historical, provable, evidenced items lends credence to my fictional story and the points and sub-themes I'm trying to make within it. It lends it credibility because people seeing I did my research to make this book work.
Right.
Well, with that, let's see. Joseph, of course, you've got your Indiegogo campaign going. igg.me/@/write-and-publish, which I'll have, which is posted in the description. And Inf, when's the album drop?
The album dropped, what, 2 months ago?
Oh, wow. Okay.
2 months ago. The album is called Addicted.
Last horse through the gate.
Yeah, it's called Addicted, man. It's on all social platforms, man.
Okay, cool. Sorry, that didn't take that.
Yeah, he kind of waved in and out there on my end.
Oh, did I?
too.
Okay, what's
Is-
the
Oh,
name
my
of the
bad.
album?
All right. The
You
name of the
know,
album is
Grizz,
called Addicted.
Grizz, I think it kind of starts happening when you're almost Italian. I'm part Italian, so I talk with my hands.
Yeah.
When you're talking with your hands and you're leaning in, it cracks your audio somehow.
Do you hear me clear now?
I
Yes.
hear you clear.
Yeah. All right.
Loud and clear.
So the album
Now,
is
now
called
you're making
Addicted.
a Verizon commercial.
Addicted.
Can you hear me now?
You hear me? Nah, but the album is called Addicted. It got 15 tracks on it. The intro is a prayer. And the last track is actually with a chick named Annika Bellamy. She's from California, actually.
Okay.
You know, I got her on the song. It's called Right Now. So that's one of the ice makers on the album too. So
Nice.
y'all should check it out. It's on all social media platforms. So
Okay. So go out and find Inf Grizzy, not Grizzly.
Grizzy.
Yeah, Inf Grizzly might be a whole other genre of music.
I'm a whole different. I can do anything. I'm versatile, so it doesn't matter.
Sweet. And keep an eye out for his movie coming soon.
Yeah, that's coming soon. I'm gonna be working on that soon, very soon.
Cool. Yeah.
You-
Yeah. You should check out the interviews I did with. I did an interview with a young lady named Jasmine Deanne Andrews, and she makes her own movies. And,
Okay.
yeah. You should check that interview out. She talked about how she came about to do that and got into what she's doing now.
Right.
Yeah, and before we go, I want to remind Grizzy, you owe Bill a theme song.
I owe you a theme song. You know what? Y'all got my email. We could talk about this. We could discuss it and see how we want to make it happen. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm serious. I'm down.
All right.
I did a song for my vape shop that I work for. So why not?
Why not? Indeed. I could definitely use a theme song.
I'll come up with something.
Stanford and Son's already taken, Rudy.
I'll come up with something for you. Also, y'all can reach me on IG, Inf Grizzy #5, or the official Inf Grizzy. That's my other account. TikTok, Inf Grizzy 35, Snapchat, Inf Grizzy 25, YouTube, Inf Grizzy. Everything is Inf Grizzy. So you can look me up. I ain't hard to find.
Yeah, well, I am kind of hard to find because my name is Joseph M. Lenard, and I have to use the M in there because I'm in Detroit. There's another author, Joseph Lenard, out of North Carolina. So I got to be careful that people don't confuse us.
Yeah,
So
you
I'm
don't want
Joseph
that.
M. Lenard, and there's no O in Leonard. It looks like Lenard, but it's not. It's pronounced Leonard. And my handle on most social media platforms, I'm on like 13 of them, is J Leonard Detroit. Instagram. You can't find me on Twitter under that or Facebook, though, because both those platforms have permanently banned me.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's
I wanna get
copyright
banned
material.
somewhere.
But yeah, you can find me on all the other ones like Parler and Getter and MeWe and Spreely and Truth and Locals and on and on and on. There's so many of them. The only one I'm really not on is TikTok.
Don't feel bad if you got banned. I almost got banned from YouTube, to be honest with you.
Me too.
Because I did a song for the store that I work for, Non-South Vaping. So it got vapes in it and bongs in the background. So they try to cancel my whole YouTube account, everything, dude. They banned my Facebook promotions and my Instagram promotions.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. They made me take down a couple of my YouTube channel videos too. I'm J Leonard Detroit on YouTube. Although it's hard to find me. I think they're shadow banning me. like Twitter. So if you don't
Yeah.
know the direct link to my channel, it's hard to find. But you can find
Okay.
me by DuckDuckGo searching me, Joseph M. Leonard.
Okay. I like
Google
DuckDuckGo.
also suppresses results.
All right.
Because
Yes.
I think, they don't like the bent of this book or whatever. So so use Jibberoo or DuckDuckGo. I like Google for shopping. They're great
Right.
for finding bargains and stuff like that. But for
Yes.
search results, I always use DuckDuckGo or Jibberoo.
I haven't heard of Jibberoo.
Mm.
Have you tried
Me
Brave
neither.
yet?
Tried what?
Brave.
Brave browser? Yeah, I've got the Brave browser.
Brave does their own search too.
Yeah. No, I don't use the Brave search. I've got DuckDuckGo built into all my browsers because I'm so active on everything. I use Microsoft Edge for certain things. I use Google Chrome for certain things. I use Firefox mainly for social media, so I have all my social media site tabs open. Because people often ask me, why do I belong to so many social media platforms? And I ask them, well, why would you want to limit your own reach? You can easily post something on one and can paste it to the other ones and hit send. So you could put the same post 13 different places very easily and reach different audiences. And so I use Brave again for other things. And I also use the Opera browser for still other things, because that's why I had to get the maximum memory on my system, because I've got like 100 things all open and going on at the same time on my system.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Okay, well, we've been going at this for about an hour and 45 minutes.
Hey, man, it's a blessing meeting y'all, man. This is interesting. I never did this before, but, I'm willing to do it again some other day. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to join on here and be a part of this.
Well, what I really like about Not Quite After Midnight and Bill, and I'm not just saying this to blow smoke. I don't have to say this, and I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it and didn't believe it. But what I like about what Bill does with Not Quite After Midnight is having a session like this where you and I, Grizzy, get to meet and interact. He's got different people, different personalities, sharing different things. And we have a great forum. To me, it's kind of like, I can't stand the late night talk show hosts. They're not funny anymore, but there's one I do watch, Graham Norton's show out of England. James Corden kind of stole his idea of having everybody on a couch at the same time. And Bill, your show is like that, so that we're all interacting together at the same time. And that, to me, makes for a far superior show than 99% of the podcasts that are out there. And again, I'm not just saying that to blow smoke to Bill. I really mean what I say. I say what I mean and mean what I say.
Exactly.
Well, thank you. I'm glad of that. I really like doing these shows, and it's really funny and interesting how people who would on the surface seem to be very different interact with each other and mesh, and we just created a new show.
Yeah.
It's always different. Awesome. It's funny. I wasn't sure what to expect from tonight, other than something different.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you, Bill, too, before we go, for having me back, because this is my second time. I really enjoyed the first time around. Well, I was on with Zachary Hagen, who wrote the Eternal Chronicles. So we had two authors on at the same time, and it was weird.
Nice.
People, if you get a chance to look back in Bill's archives, go find that show with Bill, me, Joseph M. Leonard, and Zachary Hagen, the author of Eternal Chronicles. Because I was joking with Bill, we all, in some way, shape, or form, had a clock theme. So it was like a clock theme show.
I remember
You
that.
can't see it in my background, but on the cover of my book, I don't know if it'll show up. No, it's
Yeah, I
not
see
showing
it. Yeah,
my
I
background.
see a little bit.
But there's a big clock there, which
Okay.
goes with the coming soon to a city near you subtitle. Time is nearing its end. You know, time is running out. Look over your shoulder. Time is nigh, you know.
Yes.
And terror strikes coming soon to a city near you. One of the main points is terrorism is not just a New York City, London, England, or Madrid, Spain, or Tokyo, Japan. I've got chapters on all those. It's not just their problem. I also have a chapter called Tulsa, as in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, terrorism can strike anywhere. And I've got a sheet of paper here of some mass shootings that happened this year you may not have heard about. Mass shooter on April 10th of this year. There's been more than 250 mass shootings in the United States alone this year. This year
I never knew that.
at an Iowa nightclub, April 10th. Arkansas Car Show, March 19th. Vegas Hookah Bar, February 26th. Virginia Hookah Bar, February 4th. Do you see the pattern or the picture I'm painting here? People, it can happen anywhere.
Anywhere.
And I'm not asking you to bury yourself in the basement and live in fear. My book, despite the theme of terrorism, is not about death. It's about life and living. Live your life without fear, because they want you to be afraid so they can get you to comply. But don't be stupid.
Exactly.
Know your surroundings and be awake, be alert.
Always.
Yeah. Keep your head on a pivot.
Yep. Situational awareness.
Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy, man. I never knew that it was that much killing in that matter in a year.
And you don't hear about it. Why? Because the media is focused on one or two stories that fit the particular narrative they want to sell. And then also the Wuhan virus hysteria still. Terrorism didn't go away, people. During the Wuhan virus, terrorists didn't say, oh, let's put down our guns and stop our killing because there's this pandemic going on. No. It's been going on. You just haven't heard about it because the news hasn't been covering it, which is why it was important for my book to come out this year to wake people up. Like you saw the other day, Salman Rushdie, right, was attacked. That's a direct result of retaliation for the Biden administration killing Trump killed Soleimani. Oh, al-Zawahiri. I like to jokingly call him Ayman al-Zawa no longer Hiri. But we drove, you know, because you got to keep a sense of humor. And I like poking the enemy in the eye. You know where to find me. Come and get me. I'll take you out myself. But
it will be broadcast on Facebook.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of localized terror attacks like the Salman Rushdie attack are going to be stepping up now. Salman Rushdie wrote, I forget the name of his Satanic Verses. So the Ayatollah put out a fatwa on him 25 years ago. Well, that didn't go away. So this jihadist that I call Geisha, it's kind of like the Nazi term, the National Socialist Deutschland Arbeiter Party. We know them as Nazis for short. Well, Islamic fundamentalist radicals doesn't roll off the tongue. So I entered the term via this book into the nomenclature Geisha. GIJIA, that stands for Global Islamic Jihadist Interim Army. So like we call them the Nazis, We call them the Giza. It rolls off the tongue a lot easier.
Yeah, well,
And again, my book is not Islamophobic. I was on with Dawn Williams, who's a Muslim woman. She does a show called The Research Show. She has no problem with me or my book. This isn't about, only Islamic terrorism. That's our greatest threat right now. But it's not only about there. And not every terrorist is a Muslim. Not every Muslim is a terrorist. It's a shame you've got to say that.
It could be anybody.
But it could be anybody, any place, anytime.
Right.
But you gotta say, I gotta put that disclaimer on there, because people who don't want you to read my book will call me racist and sexist and Islamophobic or homophobic, anything to prevent you from reading what's in this book. They can't defend them against this book. All they can do is engage in ad hominem attacks against me. They try to marginalize me, to try to cancel me and my book, like you brought off Grizzy, cancel culture. They're trying to do the same to me.
Sad, man.
Well, I know that's what slows down the growth of this show is that I do a couple of Christian shows with my father during the course of the week, and I'm sure that's caused a slowdown of the growth. It hasn't gotten me canceled yet, but we'll see. So I was going to say earlier, back when I was on the radio. We had a little Christian radio show that aired on the Angels radio station. The Angels baseball team.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and we aired on their station. And at one point, a Turkish group attacked and destroyed our website.
Oh boy!
And so we got noticed then. I haven't gotten noticed since, but yeah, I've always wanted to make enough of an impact that somebody somewhere wants me at least in prison.
Yeah, I get death threats. I mean, you can find my phone number. I'm not unlisted. You
really do?
Oh yeah, I get death threats
from your book.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's scary, man. Because you never know. Like,
I'm so proud.
Anybody could be around and do something to you, man. Like,
well, they obviously, some people think I'm a threat. So, and I'm prepared to some degree to obviously defend myself. Like I was joking, come at me, I'll take you out myself. I have no problem with that. If you're looking to kill me, I got no problem putting a 9mm through your skull first.
But, damn.
Yeah. Of course, not endorsing violence.
No.
No, we're not.
I
swear my right hand.
What I'm talking about here is self-defense.
Right.
Self-defense. That's right.
My whole book is about people killing innocent people, right? Yeah. Terrorism. It's against hate of all kind, and people who want to kill others out of hate, whether they'd be for religion or for politics or just because they don't like Grizzy's skin color, potentially, right?
Right.
There's no place for that hate in our world these days.
Right. Yeah.
It's too much of it, though.
In a future filled with mutual love. And
mutual love. Yep.
But yeah, I wouldn't. If you haven't made anybody angry, you haven't said anything.
Right. Yeah. Right. If you've never pissed anybody off, you're rather bland. Right.
Yeah.
And the old saying, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Yep. That's for sure.
And if you don't got no haters, you ain't doing nothing right.
Yep. which kind of ties us back to our schools. If you don't stand for anything, you fall for anything. That's why they don't want to teach them principles and values and morals. They want them pliable so they will indeed fall for any bull they tell them.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, on that note, I think it's time for the closing credits. Again, look for Inf Grizzy's album
Addicted.
Addicted, and look for Terror Strikes coming to a city near you. Right? Did I get the whole thing right?
Yeah,
Okay.
coming soon to a city near you. And and Grizzy, I'll be looking forward to those royalty checks for those ideas.
What was that title again?
Yeah, I don't remember now. I gotta watch the show back. I think I gave
We're gonna have to
you
watch
two.
this show over and
Yeah,
Over and over.
yeah,
I think
I better trademark them quick.
Don't look up. That's one of them, right?
Look up, yeah, from the movie.
And the other one was I
Yeah,
forget the other one. But yeah,
What's the other one?
it was interesting. That was catchy. What was it? You don't remember?
yeah. I forgot. I should have wrote
It's
it
been
down.
so long.
Yeah.
I know. I was thinking about writing it down too.
Yeah. Well, like we said, now everybody has a reason to go back through the show, and you probably better go back through and write and record them real quick, because I gave the idea to everybody watching.
Like 3 or 4
Man,
people.
there ain't nothing.
Yeah, you need to beat them to the punch.
Oh yeah, I definitely will.
You know you can't copyright a title?
No, you can't.
You can't.
You
Only the song, the music.
trademark something potentially.
Right.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. Exactly. And
Yeah,
in
you
my
can't copyright it.
in my Indiegogo project, the next book I'm writing to try to help authors become published, I do go into that. You can't copyright a concept. You can only copyright the collective set of words that you use to portray the concept. Like there's a lot of books called Terror Strikes, which is why, and I discussed this in the Write and Publish book to prospective authors, you've got to have a tagline or a subtitle if your book title is similar. There's a bazillion. You go on Amazon or Google and put in just Terror Strikes, you're going to get page after page after page. That's why you've got to know Terror Strikes coming soon to a city near you to have the complete picture.
Yes. That's why a lot of people use like certain words or twist their words around like with a different name. Like terror, probably put like TIRE or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like reverse it different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me do the ending credits and then we'll stop the recording. I'd like to thank everybody for watching or listening to the show. Can't do this without you. And definitely, I am your humble host, and I'd like to thank my my beloved Ed McMahon, Rudy Corlew, for his occasional input.
Yeah, Ed McMahon, there's going to be a whole lot of people who have no idea what you just said there.
Yep. Did you know that Doc Severson's still alive?
No, I would not have guessed that.
He's the last one, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyway, let's see. If you feel so led, please support the show over on Patreon. You can find us at Bald Spots Pro. That's the name of the production company, my vanity label, if you will. And let's see. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. I'm going to have a very special episode with Miss Amy Romine. She's a life coach and an author. She's written something in the romance thriller space, or romantic suspense. Something
That's
like
nice.
that.
That sounds dope.
And she'll tell us why we all need a coach. And then that should be ready for publishing sometime tomorrow afternoon. There's that vacuum cleaner in here.
I was just thinking, I don't need a coach. I need an umpire, though. I'm having trouble with the balls and strikes. What a bum. A little bit more of my lame humor there, and I never can pass up on a bad pun.
Yeah.
Right.
You just can't.
You got to keep a sense of humor these days, people. That's why
you have to.
My book has a comic relief chapter in it, even with the serious subject matter that I'm dealing in. Yeah. If you don't laugh at yourself and others, you'll be curled up in a corner in the fetal position, sucking on your thumb, crying all the time.
Crying.
Anyway,
you don't want to be like that.
Remember to tune in to your YWL Online, published on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or Tuesdays and Saturdays. Not quite after midnight, it's Thursday. And next week's guest on Not Quite After Midnight will be, let me look and see.
Dramatic pause.
Dramatic pause, yes. That's September 29th. Dawn Witz and Russell Mann. Dawn is a mom, book author, and philanthropist, and Russell is the author of the Ghetto Bastard series of books. So it should be interesting to see how that goes. That will be another interesting one.
Yeah,
they're all kind of
nice.
So be sure to tune in, and of course, if you've missed any episodes, go back and find them again, and listen. Be sure to like, comment, follow, subscribe, share, whatever you got to do to kick that algorithm into gear so we can reach more people. And thanks again for watching and listening. Is there anything else you fine gentlemen would like to say to the nice people?
I just want to say I appreciate you, Bill. I appreciate you, Joseph, for having me on here today. And there's much love from me always. And everybody, I forgot one little thing. Check out my website, www.infgrizzy.com. You already.
Okay,
yeah, and of course, yeah, Bill is going to be gracious enough to put my Indiegogo link in, and you can check out my book's website, terrorstrikes.info, or you could check out my author site, josephmlenard.us. And again, there's no Owen Leonard, and it's not Lenard. And if nothing else, I will go to bed tonight feeling good, knowing that I was able to make Grizzy laugh.
Yo, I needed this. I really did. I needed this. I appreciate you.
Glad I could provide a platform for you two to meet.
Yes, man. It was a pleasure.
Have a good night and a wonderful tomorrow.
You too. Blessings.